Hey y'all, I just wanted to talk to you guys today about some things that I found out through my diabetic journey. Some of them made life easier, which, come on, who don't want life to be a little easier? Shit, life's hard enough. But the thing was, or the thing still is, read your ingredients. Make sure that says no hidden sugars. Look at the carbs, because carbs will turn to sugar. Make sure, that's right. Make sure there's no sugar. Make sure there's this. Good Lord, first time I went shopping, God, it was a 4-hour freaking trip. Checking all those stinking labels. And I was so grateful I ran into this old lady. Sweetest thing. She said, honey, I'm a retired nurse. And I'm here to tell you. She said, you can check those labels if you want. She said, but the easiest way is to pull out your calculator. Unless you can do it in your head, because, well, I suck with math most of the time. But pull out your calculator. And you take the total net carbs. Subtract the fiber, and that is the total amount of sugar your body will absorb from that food. Sometimes it's a lot more than, depending on the carbs and the fiber, than what actual sugar grams there. So not only are you going to get what sugars are in the ingredients that are listed, but you're also going to get those hidden sugars that a lot of people don't think about, which are the carbs that turn into sugars. And then I know there's a lot of people out there, they're doing all these new diets, and really they're not new. Suzanne Summers had one back in the day, and it's so similar, y'all. So similar. But, no carbs, no sugars. Do your macros, do this and do that. Oh my God, it's just so complicated for me. It's probably the simplest thing, but I can make the simplest thing hard. And I can't be the only one. Y'all gotta tell me. I cannot be the only one that does this. But she told me that and it clicked, and I'm like, hell yeah. I've been using it ever since. So, that's the thing you gotta think about is carbs will turn into sugar. But it doesn't mean take all the carbs out of your diet. Because our body needs carbs. Our brain functions a lot better when we have a well-balanced meal. The food pyramid they taught us as kids, well, guess what? Let's go back to basics. So, because I tried, do the rice instead of the flour, which is still really good, but the medicine that they had me on for the diabetes, it didn't help. It made it worse. My blood sugar just kept shooting up and up and up. One day, I finally called Mom. It wouldn't go away. And she's like, have you eaten any carbs? You need to eat carbs. Well, to me, that making sense because carbs turn to sugar. Sugar raises your blood sugar. The way she explained it is, when your blood sugar gets so low, your liver will spill blood glucose. Now, I might remember this wrong, but one of your organs does. And the next thing you know, your blood sugar is high and you haven't eaten. And you're feeling awful. And it's because your blood sugar has plummeted. And it's not had enough nutrients, carbs, things to break it down. Your body spill blood glucose and sugar into your bloodstream, and now your blood sugar is high. And the only way to bring it down is to eat. And it's so actually complicated, to be honest with you, till you figure shit out. And you figure out that you need a little bit of carbs, and you need a little bit of sugar, and you need a little bit of protein, and plenty of vegetables. Like those plates that you can get that have the partition on them, you know, you can get some, they're just drawn, where it shows you at first, you know, what size protein you need, what size carbs you need, what size vegetable you need. Like, it's a lot cheaper to do that than buy a scale to weigh your food out. I mean, if you're one of those, more power to you. I finally got one through a program at work, but, you know, I haven't used that. Because it's easier to remember, you know, what you need to eat, what size you need to eat. Because after a while, it's just like doing, you know, one of the other ones. Other diets down there in the line, where, you know, you have your point system. Well, you figure out what's what. And sometimes we can remember that, you know, and a lot of times we'll go back to what worked. But the thing about it is, it's simple. Like, it's not, but it is. It's one of those things that we can make complicated as shit. But it's actually pretty simple. You have to eat a well-balanced meal. And your body does need something every 3 to 4 hours. Especially when you got the diabetes. So when you're diabetic, you need to eat every 3 to 4 hours. I know that once I get to the 4th hour, my blood sugar's low to the point that I'm fuzzy-headed. I feel weird. You know, and the snacks that you have in between meals, what? We could eat snacks in between meals? Yeah, that's what you can do. But those snacks in between meals, they're important too. You know, just make them smaller. You know? Unless you didn't eat enough for breakfast and your blood sugar's way low, you may want to eat a bigger snack. And my favorite thing is little mozzarella sticks, not the breaded fried ones. Oh, those are great though, with ranch, right? But they're like little, you know, mozzarella cheese sticks, and they're wrapped with like prosciutto and salami and pepperoni, and I mean, you got the protein. All you need is like 1, 2 of those. They got these cauliflower crackers. I like the cheddar ones. They got them at the Aldi's. Oh, they're good. They are actually good. Still has carbs, but not too much. And, or you could just eat, you know, a serving size of a regular cracker. So if you look at the box, it says the serving size is 3. Well, guess what? You eat 3 crackers, get a couple of those little cheese meat things, eat you a pickle or some olives. You got a pretty good snack there. You know, throw in some nuts. You know, your walnuts, your pecans, pistachios. I mean, I buy the already shelled ones because I just like them better. But, you know, your sunflower seeds, your pumpkin seeds, that I can't remember the real name of them. Unless they're shelled. It starts with a P. But anyway, you know, those are great. The Brazilian nuts, those are great for you. All in moderation. You know, and you can buy those little snack bags at Walmart. You can even buy them at the Dollar Tree for $1. And, you know, take a little snack every day. But unfortunately, I want to be one of those people that does the food prep, has all the snacks ready for the week and all the food ready for the week, but I just haven't gotten there yet. So, you know, in the morning, it's one of those things, you just scoop out the right size, and you can weigh it out, or just look at the serving size. Use a measuring cup until you can eyeball it. And just eat serving sizes. And pickles are great. How many of you like pickles? They're great. I know some of you people love to drink that pickle juice. I just can't. I can't. Maybe. No. A little bit, maybe. But, no. It's not for me. Dried fruit. They have called croutons, I think it's called. And it's real fruit. Like, I think the only thing they actually add sugar to is the cranberries. But all the rest of the fruit is naturally dried, no sugar added. I love that. And you got those Parm Crisp. You can make them, or you can be like me, go to the Aldi, Food Line, Walmart, any of your little major stores, buy your bag, and do the serving size. They're crispy, and if you like Parmesan cheese, they're good. Like, there's so many snacks that we can do. And you could still eat your regular potato chips. But I would, suggest probably eating less than a serving size. Or if you're first starting out, just eat the serving size. And then lower it. But they got the baked versions. And there's so many recipes on the website, on Google. Your sweet potatoes are better for you than your white potatoes. But they're both equally good. I'd heard before that the white potato is actually nature's Prozac. So, through research and through looking up things, you can find a whole lot of information that's really useful in your day-to-day life of trying to conquer or live with diabetes. Because, a lot of people, their answer is, well, you take out your carbs, you take out your sugar. And that's just because of society and the major labels and so forth. But if that can't work for you, because it's never worked for me, I stay hungry, and I found out why. Your body will spill blood glucose to your blood, cause your A1C, your blood sugar, to go up. And next thing you know, you're starving. And the reason you're starving is because you really are starving. Like, there's nothing there for your body to process and absorb that. So you have to do it a little bit differently when you actually have a problem with your blood sugar. Pre-diabetes, diabetes is all the same. There's a lot of people that swear, well, I'm pre-diabetic, so I'm not, you still kind of are. Because one little push in the wrong direction, sugar, you're going to be full-blown diabetic. And for me, I think what pushed me finally over the edge was all those stupid Dr. Peppers. Oh, I love me a Dr. Pepper, a real one, not diet. I've done those, and they at least taste halfway real. But a real Dr. Pepper. Love them. I don't drink them no more. And I think at this point, because I drank one a couple years ago, it made my back hurt. And it was so freaking sweet. So, I'm to the point now, all I drink is water and coffee. Occasionally I might drink a diet soda or a soda zero. I kind of like those better than the diet ones. They just taste a little better to me. But on day to day, I'll leave them alone. A lot of people have the misconception that corn syrup is better for you than sugar. Go get some sugar-free Cool Whip. Got corn syrup in it. First started this little transition, this roadway, this highway of trying to conquer the weight and get some of it down. I basically get off this medicine. And I'm I'm doing a good job. Well, prescription medicines. So I buy the sugar-free pudding and the sugar-free Cool Whip. And every time I would eat it, because I still wanted that sweet. And I know they tell you not to do it, but come the fuck on. People just supposed to cut out sugar. I am so glad you can do it, and you got the willpower to do it. But those of us who are having problems with it, instead of going and sneaking off, because nobody's supposed to, you don't want to be embarrassed and let everybody know that you're failing. Eat the sugar-free. Of course, it's totally up to you. I'm not a doctor. Don't take my advice solely on my advice, but either way, the Cool Whip, the sugar-free Cool Whip has corn syrup in it, and it shot my blood sugar up every single time. So what I do is I get the heavy whipping cream, and I get the sugar-free pudding, and I whip it up. And any dessert that causes for Cool Whip, I'll now get the heavy whipping cream, and instead of adding sugar or like Splenda or something, I'll just take a packet of white chocolate sugar-free pudding or the cheesecake sugar-free pudding, and probably even do a chocolate for frosting. And that's what I do. I'll use that for frosting, because the longer you whip it, the thicker it's going to get. So you can either have pudding, you can have mousse, you can have frosting. Like, it's great. You have to refrigerate it, of course, but it's really good. So, there's just a few things that I've learned along the way. One major thing that I've learned in the past, a few months actually, is the fact that I've noticed when I don't eat enough and my blood sugar has gone up because of the spillage of the blood glucose. And it's because when you go to eat, oh my God, that food tastes like the best thing you have ever put in your mouth. Like you can't eat enough of it because it tastes so good. Like as soon as it touches your tongue, it sends shivers. It's so good. It's because your blood sugar is that low. Technically, on the meter, it's going to show it's high. But once you eat a bite of food, if you were to check your blood sugar, I bet you it went down. And if it did, that's how you know your body did that to you, because you didn't enough. And in those cases, and I did that just by doing that. So in most cases, what you really have to do is make sure when you get like that you don't overeat. It's hard. But it just means that nope, I'm putting it up. Somebody's around you, loves you. Take this from me or I eat the whole damn bag. And if they love you, they're going to laugh at you and they're going to take it. Because they know you're trying. And that's all we're ever trying to do. We're just trying. We all want to be normal. We all would love to have that gorgeous figure and those perky boobs and be perfect, flawless. But those bitches in the magazines on TV, they ain't flawless neither. And that's kind of what society has pumped us up for. So I'm proud of these youngins, stepping forward and not worrying about it so much. Being who they are and just loving it. And maybe it came from our generation telling our daughters that. Remind them, we don't want them to dress like a little hoochie mama. But teaching them to be proud of who they are. And it's okay that you're big, because this world's got a lot of people in it. There's a lot of men who like them a big woman. And when girls are told at a young age, even boys, men, but when girls are told at a young age that you can't do this because you're big, You'll never meet anybody. Nobody will ever love you because you're fat. It sticks in their head. It causes low self-esteem. And I mean, parents as a whole, you know, it's gonna happen. We all mess up. There's no rule book written for parents when the baby was born, because every child's different. Every human's different. So there's no rule book that comes out with the child. You're pretty much just winging it. And most of us go by what our parents told us. A lot of us we see some of the flaws that affected us and hurt us, and we try hard not to extend those on to our children. But sometimes it happens. We don't mean to, but it does happen. But I just wanted to go over those few things with you as I was taking this little trip. I get back in touch with more stuff that pops in my head. Y'all have a good day. Bye.